What do you think happens if you're having too many contracted foods like salt, meat, and eggs? What do you think your body might start craving to balance itself out? It'll crave the opposite of contracted foods. It'll crave sweet, expansive, blissful foods. That's the challenge. When I'm working with clients to reconstruct their energetic cravings, we really look at not just the foods that they're eating, also their lifestyle, which feeds the cravings as well. I'm Nicole Alquia-Maggio, your host of Dig Deep, Reach High, the podcast. In this space, everyone is invited to pull up a seat at my table, where we get into honest, refreshing, and eye-opening conversations about health and wellness, relationships, and biblical living. Together, we explore with curiosity on what it takes for growth while giving the grace for the journey to get there. Even as a kid in Minnesota, I've always had big city dreams. From an unaware, overwhelmed single woman, I've completely transformed my life into a confident, healthy living wife and mom. And now I'm here to share my journey and victories and help you with yours. So come along with me as I teach you the tried and true secrets to building a life that you can enjoy living and feel good doing it too. This isn't just informational, it's empowering. So grab a cup of coffee, pull up a seat, and be ready to feel encouraged, spark curiosity, and leave empowered as we fearlessly grow through life together. This is Dig Deep, Reach High, the podcast. Have you ever woken up just thinking about your day and knowing it's going to be one of those exhausting, all-out draining ones? Even just thinking about it at the beginning makes you tired. Maybe you wondered, is it even possible to have enough energy to get done all that I need to do and still have something left over for me in the end? If you want to discover what is keeping you stuck in that energy-draining rut and finally get unstuck, take back control over your energy and enjoy the blessings of your full life, truly allowing your best self to shine through it all. If this is you, then you are exactly in the right place. In fact, if this is you, there's no accident that we're here together today because I'm going to show you how to kick-start your energy without needing that next cup of coffee and without having to give up the fullness of your life that you love so you can experience your own total transformation that really gives you your best body, your best moods, and your best life ever. So stick around. I'm going to teach you as much as I can about the topic of energy in the time that we have. And before we finish, I'll show you how to take it even further if you want to and ignite your energy to your own total transformation. Hey friends, guess what? The Dig Deep Reach High app is here. And this is your all-in-one hub for everything Dig Deep Reach High. Tap in to stream every episode of our podcast, dive in our show notes, take bite-sized challenges and full transformational programs right at your fingertips. Whether you're craving a quick mindset boost or a full-blown out health reset, it's all on your home screen now. Ready to make your own breakthrough? Download Dig Deep Reach High, the app now, and schedule your Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session to start leveling up your mind, your body, and your spirit today. Download the app in the link below, and we'll see you online. Ugh, I hate that feeling of waking up just tired when you already know that you're going to have a long day ahead of you. You got work, the kids, there's errands you got to run, the whole family was invited to a friend's house after work. You know you really wanted to go, but you don't know if you're going to have enough energy to enjoy it, let alone to get everything together to actually show up. Just pause, take a breath, don't freak out. This lack of energy and the overwhelm doesn't have to be part of our daily plans anymore. We have been conditioned to think that in order to have a full life, we have to be running on coffee and protein shakes and energy bars as somewhere we've developed this notion that we've got to struggle to get the life that we want, when honestly, this is a very limited concept of what a full, healthy life can be. We're not going to talk about bland and boring lives that are centered around gym memberships and workout plans in order to be healthy and energized. My goal is to introduce you to a whole new healthy living experience, just tickling your taste buds of what a full, healthy, and energetic life can really be. That's easy to maintain and it's good for you. So how did I end up here talking to you all about healthy living and energy? Well, right now, I have all the energy I need to run a family of 5, even with a 10-month-old in the house, a full-time working mom, while still having enough energy for myself, and yes, even energy left over to show up real in my writing and producing this show, as well as having time for date nights with the husband. It wasn't always this way, though. I spent over 8 years in the professional service industry running on coffee and adrenaline until I noticed something. Suddenly, I wasn't as comfortable in my body. I had plateaued in my weight loss for months, and on top of that, I found myself binge eating on like chips and salty food more than ever, which it's gotten so bad that it actually turned into a binge eating disorder. I stopped going out dancing and being with my favorite people, doing the things I love, and I spent most of my nights just crashing at home with movies all the way to bedtime. Now, I remember the day, sitting at my desk in the middle of my shift one day at work, and I was staring at the clock, waiting for my big afternoon lull of energy to kick in so I could go grab my next cup of coffee and go for another round of my busy and yet exhausting and draining life to continue. That was the day I knew something had to change. I literally threw myself into absolutely everything I could get my hands on around health and wellness, nutrition, and holistic personal growth. I went back to school to be a certified health and life coach, and within 1 year, I had control over my binge eating disorder, embraced my beautiful, curvy body for all it's worth, and even had energy to spare after a long day of work and home life to be going out again, dancing, doing what I love to do without even 1 cup of coffee. Yes, it can be done. Coffee does not have to be the only way out of bed in the morning. Most importantly, though, I began to truly love my body, myself, and my life again. There were no more doubts and negative self-talk, no more missing out on the fun times. I actually started getting a lot of compliments from people that I knew and even ones that I didn't. They would say I looked amazing, like I had completely transformed, and they were all asking what I was doing to get this new energy in my life. They all wanted to know. Even one woman said once that she starts eating at night, it's like she can't stop, and she was asking how I could break out of that. Another friend of mine said, "Oh, I cannot last without 3 cups of coffee a day. I won't make it." And that's when I really developed a system called Ignite, the Total Energy Transformation, to really teach people how to double their energy, to get more done in less time, and be able to enjoy the fully blessed life that you have. At first, it was just a few friends, and then it was full groups of people at a time. Now I'm transforming my program into a digital platform to make it even more accessible for people to fully double their energy and experience their own total transformation using the exact steps that I'm going to teach you today. Now, as a health coach, it is my goal to help you connect the dots and show you exactly how you can do this, no matter how far off track you've fallen in healthy eating, living, or otherwise. You are definitely in the right place if you've ever wondered, how does our body give us good, long-lasting, sustainable energy all day? If you're done reinventing the wheel and just want someone to tell you what works and what doesn't for real, if you want to discuss what is keeping you stuck in a rut of exhaustion and how to get unstuck, if you're ready to finally get this energy and food thing handled so you can allow your best self to shine through, if these describe you, then you are exactly in the right place. And in fact, it's so destined that I know it's not an accident that you're here today with me. Because today I am going to show you how to kickstart your energy without that next cup of coffee or giving up the fullness of the life that you love, so you can experience your own total energy transformation that gives you your best body, your best moods, and your best life ever. I'm going to teach you as much as I can in the show today, but I promise before we finish, I will show you how to take it even further if you want to. Now, there are 3 main challenges that all my clients and most people have when they are dealing with a lack of energy or exhaustion. The first challenge is wondering, well, where does good sustainable energy even come from in the first place? Why do those big yawns tend to come in the middle of the day, and what do we do about it? So let's just solve that mystery right now, shall we? Let's talk about how the body gives us good sustainable energy in the first place from our food. Now, traditional nutritionists associate good energy development with our metabolic health, which primarily comes from the way that our body breaks down food molecules into usable energy, primarily thinking of food in calories and grams of fat. Now, as a health coach, this is only one way to look at our energy development that comes from food. The other way is something really cool, and it's called the polarity of food. Now, what does that mean? Well, the concept of polarity is really pretty simple. It's based on the principle that everything has two polarities or extremes. For example, hot and cold. They are extremes of the pole called temperature. It's the same way with every apparent opposite. Hot and cold, hard and soft, noisy, quiet, light and dark, good and bad, love and fear. When you find one, you'll usually find the potential for its opposite. So to look at the world through the lens of polarity, it's to look at everything in pairs. Dark, light, love, fear, hot, cold, and etc. So how does this concept apply to our body's energy? Well, first, we want to consider that food for our body is more than simple fuel. The food in itself has energetic qualities that are beyond the science and mechanics of calories, fats, and nutrient values. For example, leafy greens grow upward. They have a very uplifting energy, whereas root vegetables like potatoes or squash, they grow deep in the ground and have a very grounding energy. So what does the polarity of food really look like then? How might this polarity of food actually be impacting your day-to-day energy? Well, I want you to imagine with me a seesaw. In some circles, it is called a teeter-totter, but to me, forever a seesaw. Imagine on the right side of the seesaw, we have the extreme of expansive bliss. Now, these foods that represent this energy are things like alcohol, caffeine, sugar, dairy, and to some extent, fruit. The energy of these foods make you feel light, relaxed, and happy, almost blissful. But when you eat too many blissful foods, you start to see that seesaw going up, and you can feel really spacey, maybe even a little forgetful. Then on the other extreme, the left side of the seesaw, are the contracted tension foods. And these foods are contractive versus expansive. Examples of these foods are things like salt, eggs, red meat. They're kind of the foods that put meat on your bones, if you know what I mean. They make you feel very grounded, focused, sometimes even aggressive. But when you eat too many, you see that seesaw going down, 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 and you start to feel very tight, kind of agitated, and sometimes even a little angry. So that's all fine and good. But how do the two extremes of polarity on food, expansive bliss and the contracted tension, relate to energy developed in the body? Well, I'm so glad that you asked, because if life is a system of opposites and your body is always trying to balance itself out, what do you think happens if you're having too many contracted foods like salt, meat, and eggs? What do you think your body might start craving to balance itself out? It'll crave the opposite of contracted foods. It'll crave sweet, expansive, blissful foods. Do you find that if you have something really salty like potato chips that you just crave something very sweet afterwards? That's the challenge. If you have too many contracted foods, we'll crave the expansive. And vice versa, too many expansive foods and we start to crave those contracted foods. So what many people don't realize, and I didn't realize it myself either, is that we've oftentimes creating our cravings unknowingly. It's kind of cool though, right? Knowing that your own choices, subconscious or intentional, are really creating the world around you. You can even look at activities in your life through the lens of polarity of expansive and contractive. There's things in your life that are more contractive. They create more tension. And then there are things that are more expansive. They create more relaxation and blissful moments. So examples of contractive activities could be running, working too much, partying, or staying up late, even just stress. When you have too many of these activities, you're going to start to crave more expansive foods because you need that relaxation. And if you don't allow yourself to relax, you'll find yourself binging on wine or chocolate, bread, desserts. Your body is just begging you for a break, like sleep, maybe reading, meditation, walking, taking a bath. If you've been driving in awful traffic, or if your toddler was a nightmare child and you had a really stressful day at work, what do you think you're going to crave? Sweets, caffeine, a martini. anything on that expansive, blissful side of the seesaw. That craving is your body trying to balance itself out. So when I'm working with clients to reconstruct their energetic cravings, we really look at not just the foods that they're eating, but also their lifestyle, which feeds the cravings as well. So here's an example from a client who used to binge on TV and shows late at night before bed, as she said, and I quote, "It was the only thing she found to relax her and help her to sleep at night." Now, after working with me and finding this good balance of her polarities around food, energy-giving activities, and just her lifestyle, she actually went to bed for the first time without even thinking about relaxing with TV. It was a huge breakthrough for her. She had found sustainable energy through her day, was more productive than she'd ever been before, and it put her in such a peaceful place mentally, as well as causing her to eat, sleep, and live healthier, and she could go to sleep in peace without having to binge all of this information before bed, giving her restlessness at night. It's just beautiful, and I'm so proud of her for taking the actions that she did to get her where she really wanted to be. Now, the second big challenge around exhaustion and a lack of energy is when we are tired, we do tend to reach for sugary foods to help us regain our energy, which, to be honest, it can feel so good in the moment when we're consuming them, and we don't really want to give up that sugary snack or sugar-loaded coffee crutch. It feels so good to drink 2, 3, or even 4 cups a day. Sometimes there's even that little sense of pride when you tell coworkers of how many cups that you're on of coffee to stay as productive and energetic as you are. But products containing lots of sugar usually don't contain lots of fiber, fat, or protein. Fiber, fat, and protein slow down sugar absorption in the body. So when those nutrients aren't present, your blood sugar actually shoots up really fast, and you kind of start yourself up on this roller coaster. So at the top of this roller coaster, your brain is really alert, because your brain uses about 50% of your blood sugar at any given time. So any drastic rise or fall in your blood sugar levels causes your brain to flip out. When your blood sugar spikes up, your brain and your body, they aren't happy. To your body, this is an emergency sign. So what does your body do? Well, your pancreas actually produces the hormone insulin to bring your blood sugar back down. But here is the problem, is that we've spent a lifetime of eating a lot of high sugar, processed foods, and I get it, because when I grew up, there wasn't near the resources for healthy foods, even more for kids as there is now. So insulin has really gotten used to doing its job too well sometimes. When insulin is set out in the body, it doesn't just bring down our blood sugar into balance. Oftentimes, insulin is being produced and dropping our blood sugar way too low. And that's the blood sugar crash that you feel after a really super sugar high. That shaky, kind of spaced out, uncomfortable feeling. It's your blood sugar crashing. And now, when your blood sugar crashes, what do you think your body will crave when you're way down there in the dumps at the bottom of this roller coaster in the middle of this horrible crash? That's right, more sugar. And what happens to your blood sugar when we eat that sugar again? It goes up, 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 up the track, back to the top of the roller coaster, and so the up and down cycle begins. I mean, haven't you ever experienced that before? It just makes you feel weird, like off. This is one of the reasons why we start eating sugar, and we quite literally cannot stop. And we start to crave it almost consistently, because our body is trying to find a blood sugar balance. The sugar craving in your body is saying it needs something specific to restore its balance. The easiest and most convenient food to restore blood sugar balance is sugar. However, if we keep eating that sugar, we stay on this crazy craving roller coaster, and the roller coaster impacts more than just the moment. It impacts your mood, your weight gain. It leads to serious diseases like adult onset diabetes. And there's even a little more to this story. After the hormone insulin is sent out to take all that excess sugar out of the bloodstream, it has 3 places to take that sugar. The 3 places are your brain, your blood cells, and your muscles. But if all of those receptors are full and you've been eating a lot of sugar already, where do you think that sugar is going to go? Yeah, you're right. Right on the hips. The excess sugar is stored as fat. Now here's yet another not so thrilling thing. When your body is producing insulin to bring you down from that sugar high, it cannot produce what's called glucagon. Glucagon is very important because if you're trying to shed excess weight, this is the hormone it takes to take the fat out of storage in order to be burned. If you're eating sugar, not only are you probably storing some of it as fat, but you're also stopping the release of that glucagon hormone in order to produce fat burning potential. It's just a big bummer, especially when you're working so hard to try and lose weight or to eat right. And there's something else even more I want you to consider. These days, many health-conscious people know their blood sugar levels go up and down. They sometimes put themselves on a sugar-induced high and don't realize the emotions that are on that roller coaster too that accompany this. We feel happy and energetic, and then suddenly, unexplainably, we find ourselves arguing with our friend or our spouse, beating ourselves up in our mind. Our moods are all over the place. I mean, have you ever experienced that too? Yeah, it's a real bummer. It's really hard to have these moments where our emotions are almost uncontrollable. Now, the third and final challenge with a lack of energy and exhaustion that I experience even myself, and I notice with my clients a lot, is that when you're not happy with an area of your life, like your career, your relationships, your finances, your workouts, your sex life, your family, where you live, the winter weather, whatever it is, it's sometimes so much easier to reach for a caffeine and sugar than actually deal with what's going on. And I totally get that. In fact, here's an example of one of my clients who is a working mom, a wife, and before coaching with me, she said, I struggled with having enough energy to make it through school drop-offs, work, pickups, dinner, and bedtime with the kids before I would crash on the couch. Nothing was left in me to give for my husband and our relationship, let alone myself. Then, through working with Nicole, I learned that I really do have control over my energy, as it doesn't just come from what I eat, but what I'm feeding my soul, my mind, and my spirit too. She said, the three most significant results that I experienced from coaching with Nicole is finding this new life of true energy that I'm in control over. It has allowed me to finally have the energy to spend time with my husband and has rekindled our relationship after 8 years of marriage. I finally lost that super stubborn 10 pounds that I've been trying to get rid of for years, and I rediscovered my passion for volunteer work, and now I organize outings for my whole family to go to a local soup kitchen and to be part of outreach to my community regularly. She went on to say that what I loved most about coaching with Nicole is that she really listens to me and always seems to have a solution to try. I never thought she would be able to figure out solutions for me that fixed my stomach issues and gave me back my life. I would gladly work with Nicole on any issue I have around my health and body because she gets results. And it's so much fun working with her to see my life transform right before my eyes. A craving or crash may seem like a pain, but what if these cravings and moments of crashing energy are actually messengers to help you step into the best version of who you are? That would be pretty amazing, right? Now, I know you didn't just come here to hear someone else's story. You want your own story of breakthrough and transformation. So let's look at how to kickstart your energy without giving up the full life you enjoy, even if you've never done it before. Now, you don't have to write these down. I've written them down for you, and I'll show you where to get that in a bit. But there are 6 solutions to really kickstart your energy. You can listen and just take them in now and know that they're written down for you already. Okay? Now, number 1, check your bevies. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes our lack of energy can actually stem from dehydration. So pound a glass of water, wait 5 minutes, and then see if you feel a little bit more refreshed and awake before you go grab another cup of coffee. Number 2 is sleep. For many of us, this is easier said than done, but if you're constantly tired, your body is going to look for energy, usually in the form of caffeine and sugar. So try to power down an hour earlier than usual, even 30 minutes earlier if it's all you can muster. Notice how your energy might change in the day if you just got a little more rest. Number 3, check your protein. Now, this is actually a really fun and cool fact, but watching your protein and what kind of proteins you're eating, especially around animal proteins, can impact your energy levels. Eating too little animal protein can lead to dips in our energy throughout the day. Also, eating too much animal protein can impact your energy levels as well. When I work with clients, we always find the right sweet spot for protein intake so you feel satisfied and energized all day long. Number 4, sniff out the low-fat and fat-free foods. When food manufacturers take the fat out of foods, What do you think they put in? Take a guess. Yes, it's sugar. Reaching for those low and free from fat snacks for energy is one of the worst things we can do because it puts us on that sugar roller coaster again. Number 5, move yourself. Movement is another kind of energy developing food for your body. It releases stress, makes you feel great and look great. And when you don't get enough movement, the body starts to look for other ways to blow off steam and get that energy boost, like binging on coffee or those little candies that always just seem to be at your fingertips. And number 6 is create new morning rituals. If you're a coffee before work kind of person, one of the things you might love about this is the ritual of it. So think about it. What are other possibilities for morning get up and go rituals to give you that spark that you're really looking for to kickstart your day? This could be something physical. Some people like a little jog, a stretch, or a workout. Could be something more intimate or personal, like reading a book, picking up your Bible, saying a prayer. Could even be something more motivational or inspirational, certain I am statements, or just reminding yourself why you get up and go every morning as the person that you are. So what now? Now I'm going to tell you how to turn today's immediately useful information into lasting transformation. Now, do you feel 100% confident that you can walk away from this episode ready to kickstart your energy and double it once and for all? Oh, no, probably not. But why? Well, that's because we've actually left out 3 key ingredients that puts all of this together. Without these 3 ingredients, you stay in the same patterns, repeat the same old behaviors, and that keeps us stuck. You might do really well for a while because you're getting new information, and even that in itself is an energy boost. But more times than not, it's easy for us to get new information, renew our commitment, and follow through. We take consistent action for a week or 2, and then it kind of fizzles out. That motivation just isn't there anymore. We fall off track, and how many people really know what to do but don't always do it? Yeah, most of us. That's because knowing isn't enough. Knowing what to do is not what motivates us to take action. We as people suffer from a high fact and education diet, and that has a lot of theory, but not putting it into practice. The 3 key ingredients that bring this all together is the right system, the right support, and the right accountability. We've got information. We don't need more information. What we need is someone to encourage our process and someone to kick us in the butt when we make poor choices. Now, since kickstarting your energy and even further to doubling it is not so easy to do on your own, I would like to invite you to a free Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session with me. This is a 45-minute private consultation session with me where we'll look at where your cravings are, what they mean, why you're stuck, how to get unstuck, and then what your plan of action is to experience your own total transformation. Invest 45 minutes of time and I guarantee you will walk away with at least one major breakthrough and insight about how to break out of the rut and get into action. I want to invite you to open up the possibilities that this time really can be different, that you haven't yet tried everything, that even those who are relatively healthy already can be missing something that can make it all better. This is an opportunity to get curious about how healthy you really can be. Now, I had a client who came to me with severe acne, weight gain, poor self-esteem, especially after her mom confessed she didn't like her fiance or where her life was headed. She spent thousands of dollars on lotions, spa treatments with no results. Doctors told her she'd have to live with it and take medication or it would get worse. Not knowing there had to be a better way, she actually found me. We started working together and removed all the toxic buildup from the inside out. We identified not only foods, but also lifestyle factors, stress, habits, and social situations that were triggering inflammation. And we came up with results-oriented solutions that actually fit her life so she didn't feel deprived. Within 4 weeks, she lost 10 pounds, her skin was completely clear, there were no more breakouts or blotchiness, and her confidence was soaring. Over the next 3 months, her entire life completely transformed, physically, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. Most of all, she said that she was amazed at how fun and easy it was to implement the necessary changes to actually keep her skin clean. What makes this program unique is that we focus on what you get to have rather than what you don't. Suffering to heal doesn't make sense. When I work with a client, I want to inspire you to reclaim your health in a way that's sustainable, natural, and fun. My clients tell me I'm part cheerleader, part tough love coach, support and accountability. 2 ingredients proven to make all the difference in the world between staying stuck and breaking out of a rut. If you're ready for the accountability, the proven systems, and the support that's going to make this work like nothing else you've tried, then I invite you to a free Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session. This is a 45-minute private consultation session where we'll look at what your cravings mean, why you're stuck, how to get unstuck, and then to develop your plan of action to experience your own total transformation. I guarantee you'll walk away with at least one aha and major insight of how to break out of the rut and get into action. So here's what you need to do now. In the episode description below, there's a link to schedule your private one-on-one Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session with me. I'm going to lead the process. You're going to find out what your cravings mean, why you're stuck, how to get unstuck, and develop the plan of action to experience your total transformation. All you have to do is show up for yourself. Now, I promise, even if you're the type of person who feels like, oh my gosh, I could never have enough energy to not need my coffee in the morning, I promise you're going to learn something really surprising about those habits. So go ahead. Follow the link to schedule your Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session for free. Also, I do want to invite you to take the handout from the discussion as well. The 6 solutions to kickstart your energy, download in the link below, and get started taking action now while you feel inspired and motivated. Now, as a reminder, my goal as a health coach is to introduce you to a whole new level of the healthy living experience, connecting the dots so that you can experience your own unique transformation, finding the perfect balance in the fullness of life and health. It can be very easy to take new information and run with the energy boost for a while on our own, but eventually we lose that motivation and we fall off track because knowing what to do is not what motivates us to keep taking action. The 3 key ingredients that bring it all together are the right system, the right support, and the right accountability. So take the initiative and schedule your Ignite Your Energy breakthrough session with me. I'm happy to talk you through your next big aha and personal insight in just 45 minutes, and I know it'll happen, so I'm excited for you. Don't miss next week's episode of Dig Deep, Reach High as we explore another powerful woman in biblical history. Her story has been my inspiration since I was a kid, and I want to show you in even more depth through a real-life story how the right plan, the right support, and the right accountability can lead us to new freedoms. Until next time, take empowered action towards your own transformation. Dig deep and reach high. Welcome to the Dig Deep, Reach High community. You are not alone in your journey. Finally, we have our all-in-one app with a group chat where women are there to share their wins, swap recipes, and lift each other up. We post our progress, not perfection moments, celebrate healthy living milestones, and spark hope when someone needs it most. Download and register in our brand new app and be one of the first to share the true stories that bring us brighter, lighter, and healthier lives. Download the Dig Deep Reach High app below and let's grow stronger together.